It's kind of a raw, rainy, cold October day here in Connecticut, but I wanted to get a video together for you on dahlias. I've ordered a lot of dahlias, and I thought you might be interested in seeing what I purchased to plant next spring. The dahlias are spring planted, but you have to order them now or you won't get what you want. So I have a lot on order. As usual, I ordered way too many. And especially this year, because I had so much trouble with voles, I had them in containers. And actually next year, I think I might keep them in containers instead of even putting them in the ground. That way I don't have to worry about as much the rabbits and the voles and the moles and, all that kind of stuff. So let's take a look. There are a lot of different varieties, and I try and do a variety of dahlias. So let's go through. We'll look at the different types, and then we'll look at the ones that I actually purchased. I love dahlias. I don't know if you do. And like I said, every year I order way more than I did the year before. But there's a dahlia for everyone. They come in every sort of shape, size, color. And they bloom from midsummer through fall. They're just a great addition to the garden. So let's talk dahlias. One thing I always find amazing is how a single tuber becomes a huge clump by the end of the season. No extra money, but tons of extra plants. And if you can overwinter them, we have to overwinter them here in Zone 6, but if you can overwinter them, you can have many more dahlias the next season. So the sizes range from pom-poms all the way up to giants. For size, I prefer variety, but I love the ball dahlias, which are like over 3.5 inches bloom size. And they have a rounded head bloom. They're great cut, and they come in so many colors. Another favorite are the medium-sized dahlias. They're like 6 to 8 inches, since they're great for flower arrangements. They come in many, many forms, from informal decorative types, the peony forms, the ball shape, the singles, the cactus types, the water lilies, anemones, and the collarets. My favorite forms typically are the balls, the singles, the semi-cactus, the water lily, and the collarets. These have different petal styles and lengths. Some are very full and lush, and others are beautifully formed like water lilies. Dahlia tubers can be planted directly outside in a sunny location once the ground warms up, but all danger of frost is past. But I prefer to pot mine up in advance so they have a head start against the rabbits. They're so easy to grow and require no special care except for staking them really at the time of planting for the taller varieties. And once you see some green shoots emerge from the ground, it's time to start watering. Before then, we don't water. Don't water before, though, or you can cause the tubers to rot. So I hear some people say to pinch the stems to produce more branches. I do this when the main stem is about 12 inches tall, and I take it down about 3 to 4 inches. Another tip is to have good cut flowers is to only cut them when they're almost fully open and remove the lower leaves. Pop the stems into very hot water, like 160 to 180 degrees, to condition them for an hour, and be careful to keep the heads out of the steam. So a good tip for productive blooms is to deadhead your spent blooms on your dahlias. So let's see what I purchased for spring 2023. If you're interested in dahlias, I highly recommend Floret Farm's Discovering Dahlias book. Erin covers everything you could ever want to know about dahlias. I refer to it all the time. So let's start looking at my dahlias. First up, we have Beyond. This is a collarette. It's got a 4-inch bloom. It's a dark magenta bloom with those curved petals. It gets to about 3 feet tall. I'm going to go through these relatively quickly because otherwise we'll be here for a lifetime. I did grow this year, and I'm happy with it, so it's going to make a reappearance next year. Next is an outstanding bicolored dahlia, a formal decorative called B-Man, rosy purple with white tips. It makes a great cut flower, gets about 3.5 feet tall, and the bloom size is about 3 inches. Again, I've planted this one year after year. So I'm also including information of the year that the dahlia was actually introduced, if I know it. So this is Apple Blossom, and this is very popular with designers. It is a collarette. It's got delicate 4-inch flowers with creamy yellow with hints of that blushed rose and a soft pink blush collar. It's like 4.5 feet tall, and the bloom is about 4 inches. Again, very popular. I did plant this year. I love it. So you'll see a theme going here. Jason Matthew, I love the purple dahlias. Jason Matthew, I love. I've planted it year after year after year. It's a formal decorative style of dahlia, 3-inch bloom, 4 feet tall. It's a dark purple bloom on a really nice long dark green stem and makes an excellent cut flower. I love the purple dahlias. This is one of my faves. So Dad's favorite. This was new to me this year. I'm going to try it again next year. They have nice big 5-inch blooms. The plant gets like 4 feet tall. It has dark stems, which is a really nice contrast with the blooms. It's kind of an unusual dahlia. It's an anemone type, and it has a single row of lavender petals topped off with a puff center of purple tipped and gold. So a little bit different. So Frank Holmes, I know I have this one this year. I don't know where it is, so I'm hoping I can find it and save it over winter. It's a really pretty little pompon, 1.5-inch light lavender blossoms, blends to a really nice dark lavender center, excellent stems for cutting. I wish I knew that. Plant height is about 3.5 feet tall. I really hope I can find this one. Next up is this lovely Michaela Miranda. Gorgeous 7-inch blooms of white blending to a lavender pink. The plant is kind of short, 3.5 feet tall, which makes it a nice addition to the front of the bed. Again, I'm kind of not sure where this one is this year because I don't think it came up, but I'm going to try and find it and save it. One of my absolute all-time favorites, you'll hear me say this again and again, I guess, Thomas Edison. Huge 8-inch blooms, dark purple, one of the darkest purples. It's an informal decorative style of dahlia, and it gets about 3.5 feet tall. Absolutely love it. Plant it every year. Another one I plant every year is eccentric. So if you love the pinks, this is for you. It's an informal decorative. It's got a 4-inch bloom, bright hot coral pink, and it fades into a soft yellow in the center. And it's got a slight curl on the petals. Gets like 3.5 feet tall with a 4-inch bloom. Love it. So we've got a few of my favorites here in a row. This is Diva. Love it, love it. Again, planted every year. Love that dark maroon, almost black dahlia. A big 6-inch bloom, 4.5 feet tall. It's very deep color, like almost a dark sangria. It's one of my absolute favorites. Top 10s. So here's another top 10. Deborah Renee. It's that gorgeous dark black-red color bloom. This is a water lily type, 4.5 feet tall, big 5-inch bloom. I've planted this also year after year because it's such an unusual color. I love that. So brand new to me this year is Rosy Wings. Trying this one for the first time. It's a really pretty true pink, 3-inch blooms, really nice shape. 4 feet tall, which is really nice, and it's a collarette. So I think this is the first one of these we've seen. So this one is considered a novelty. It's called Junkyard Dog. I've never had this one before. 7-inch blooms, which should be unbelievable. 5 feet tall, very unusual. Almost looks like it's painted, hand painted with like that magenta with the pointy petals. With a touch of yellow at the base. So it almost looks like a sunset. Should be interesting. So this one I did grow this year, and it grew really well. It bloomed really nice. This is Star Child. It's got a nice 3-inch bloom, 4 feet tall. It's a lovely white orchid flowering variety. And it's worked really well in arrangements. Nice strong stems. Okay, makes my top 3 faves. Einstein, it's a formal decorative dahlia, 7-inch blooms. I love these big dark purple dahlias. It's just such a rich dark purple. Again, I've planted this year after year, and I'm getting it again next year. So this one is totally unique for me, and maybe it'll look really pretty with Deborah Renee. So this is my hero. It's an informal decorative, but massive 11-inch rosy purple blooms with a silver reverse on a 5-foot tall plant. This should be very unique for sure. So next up is Lady Liberty. This is an informal decorative style, 6-inch blooms with a really pretty white and petals that fold all the way back to the stem. It's 4 feet tall with lush green foliage. You need to have white within the garden. So I've tried a few different ones. We're going to try this one next year. So Marn is another one that I've grown for quite a few years, 3.5 feet tall, big 4-inch bloom with a really nice orange bloom all summer long into fall. Very popular dahlia. So this one is totally new for me. David Howard gets 3 to 4 feet tall, 3 to 4-inch blooms, dark leaves, and a favorite of the famous Christopher Lloyd of Great Dixter, who I'm a big fan of. The apricot orange blooms look great with a fall favorite of mine, Verbena bonariensis. So this is another brand new one for me called Boogie Nights, a very deep, deep purple, supposedly gorgeous in arrangements, 5-inch blooms. I'm looking forward to this one. So maybe a new purple to add to my collection. So a white that I did grow this year, White Fawn, gets 3 to 4 feet tall. The blooms are like 3 to 4 inches. It's good cut flower, nice sturdy white flower, and I will grow it again next year. So new for me this year was Blue Bayou. I had never grown this one before. I really do like it. It's an anemone, 4-inch bloom with a bluish lavender outer petal with that pincushion center that's a nice darker purple, dark stems, and a nice 4-foot height. So I will grow this one again next year. So this one I have managed to save year after year, Dwy de Roy Albert. It's got a nice 4 to 6-inch flower, royal purple tip with white. Gets 4 to 5 feet tall. Very, very beautiful. I love this one. So I've never had great luck with Cafe au Lait. I've tried it a few times. I'm going to try it again. Obviously, it's very popular for wedding work. Makes beautiful arrangements. It's a huge 8-inch bloom with a pale peach to a pink blush color, 4 feet tall. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. I did grow Bumble Rumble this year. I'm pleased with that. It's a collarette, 3 to 4-inch blooms, that outer white petal with that raspberry and purple veining around a ring of shorter white petals. The pollinators loved it. So every year I like to try something new, not the same thing over and over. This is Arthur Hambly. I'm going to try. It's a formal decorative, big dinner plate dahlia, 6 to 10-inch blooms, soft lavender pink with a gold center. So we'll see how that one works. Another one I grew this year that I really love is Fashion Monger, 2 to 3.5-inch bloom, 3 feet tall, creamy raspberry blushed petals, really pretty with a golden eye. This is an old one. It's in 1955. I can see why it's been popular for such a long time. It's so pretty. So I've grown Ivanetti in the past. I didn't grow it this year. It's a ball dahlia, 3.5-inch bloom, rich dark berries, colored, long, strong stems. So I did order it again for next year. Now I did grow Bon Esperance this year. It seemed to struggle a little bit. Small pink blooms. Definitely needs to be deadheaded. It's a minion single with a small 1-inch bloom. So Cornell Bronze is a ball dahlia, 4-inch blooms, one of the best orange bronze dahlias with strong, long stems, 3.5 feet tall. I have grown this one before. Another new one this year is Crichton Honey. I don't think I've done this one before. It's a ball with a 4-inch bloom, warm apricot, another designer favorite. A relatively short plant, but will be better if it's pinched. I think you can see I'm going for a lot of peaches next year. So this is Giggles. It's a collarette, 3.5-inch bloom, a coral orange with a soft lavender pink collar. Very unusual combination, I think. And I'm loving the collarettes. I can't wait to see this one too. So sometimes with some of these companies, if you order a certain number, they give you some free. So Rebecca Lynn is one of my free ones from Swan and Dahlias this year. I have done it before. It's 3-inch bloom, a 3-foot tall plant, formal decorative style. It's really pretty. So one of my other whites for next year is Bride to Be. It's a water lily style, 3.5 feet tall by 4-inch bloom. Want to add a few more whites next year. This was also a free gift from Swan Island Dahlias. So these last ones, I think you can see a real pattern. I'm going for that deep peachy pink color. This one is Labyrinth. It's a decorative, informal decorative, big 7-inch blooms, 4 feet tall, kind of watercolory looking. Yeah, this looks gorgeous. So this one is Bonanza. It's also a ball dahlia, peachy bicolored blooms, sturdy stems, supposedly very sturdy cut flower, 4-inch blooms, 5 feet tall. Looking forward to this a lot. So just two more. This one is Linda's Baby, warm pinky peach flowers with a hint of purple on the petals, 4-inch blooms. Again, I think you can see a pattern of what I'm adding for next year, not just the deep, deep purples, but these really pretty pinky peach ones. I'm very excited about this one, Joey Nicky. I know it's a favorite of florists for weddings. That pale peach cantaloupe colored bloom, bright green stems match the green center. Looking forward to this one. So I'd love to know what your favorites are, and hopefully I won't be buying any more. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. As always, I really appreciate your support. Please, any comments are always welcome, or suggestions on how to keep the voles away from the dahlias. Have a great day. Below this video, I will put down some sources for dahlias for you. Also, I do have a bunch of other dahlias that are in the ground this year. I am going to try and save them. I didn't go through every single one of them, like Rebecca's World and American Dawn. I do have a bunch of other ones, so we'll see what survives the winter. I'm going to try packing them this year in vermiculite and see how that works. As always, thank you so much for watching.